Welcome to One in the Shibal with Susie and Ed.
We're just two, I almost said assholes. I really almost said it. We're just two Asian Americans talking shit about shit. I literally just said, we're just two assholes talking. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Talking about assholes? Susie was just reading a bunch of Am I the Assholes?
Right. Which is why. Because I don't think we're assholes. I know we're assholes, but you know what I mean. Hi. How have the last couple of weeks been?
Not as funny as that. They've been good. They've been good.
Let me ask you a quick question. Do his treats always have to be fish?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just I had bought a stack of them. And I saved them for these, you know.
You saved them for me to enjoy too.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I feel like I'm eating it too.
I tried to get him to sit on this side, but he misses you so much. I don't know if you saw it, but he did like 6 spins when he saw you.
My sweet boy, I love you. Sorry, how were your weeks?
I don't really remember, so I don't think much has happened.
Oh, okay.
Same old, same old. The other podcast that I'm on, K-Town Social Club.
How's that going?
With Radio Korea.
Is that the one where you fight all the time with that one dude?
With several couple people. That one dude that I used to argue with, he left.
Because of you?
No, actually, it wasn't. A lot of people speculated it was because of me, because of the arguments, but it wasn't. He and I actually remained friends.
Oh, good.
And then... which is weird because he's the first person that I've ever met who I completely disagree with, but I can still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's why some people still have Thanksgiving dinners with family members, because it's like, I still love you and I get it, but we are diametrically opposed on a lot of our ideologies.
Yeah. And I can't tell if it's because he's on the spectrum, and I can't tell if I excuse some of it because of it. Or
maybe you can kind of relate to it and understand it. Because
also I have a soft spot for, people on the spectrum. But I just took over as host yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the one.
That's why you overslept. You're so tired.
Yeah, that's why I had to come up with all the topics. And then with my brain, I just panic about stuff that I haven't done yet.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because I'm my brain's too busy trying to figure out everything that can go wrong so that I can prevent it from happening or be prepared for it.
Yes.
And that's exhausting.
Yeah. And then at the same time, knowing what your brain does, knowing that my brain does something similar, we also catastrophize it as we're doing it. It's like, oh my God, but what if I do that and X happens and it fucks up all the things I just planned in my mind?
And then the whole domino effect happens in your brain to the point where you're it always ends in death or something.
Do you know how many times I've packed what I need to pack for my upcoming trip in my mind?
Literally, I was late today for this podcast because I woke up late. And I literally said to Ron, I was like, if I don't get there by 10:15, I died. Because that was the thought process I went through.
It's the only logical scenario.
Well, also, I recently watched the new Final Destination trailer so that... when the domino effect happens, now it's recently been ending towards death because
everything spirals towards it. Yeah, actually, literally, and
but then we ended up recording it yesterday, and it was fine. There was nothing to worry about.
What was the topic? Can't tell.
Remember?
Okay.
The earthquake.
Oh, in Myanmar.
Yeah, in Thailand.
God. Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, but did you see the video of that Korean man? He jumped a skyscraper. So there's this skyscraper. I think they're condos, and they're connected by a bridge up top.
Okay.
All the way up top.
Yeah.
And he jumped while the bridge was breaking off because his family was on the other side.
Did he die?
No, he made it.
Thank God.
Yeah.
He jumped across a breaking bridge during a 7.7 magnitude earthquake
to get to his family.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you know the thing that the part that I really like the best is that his wife is Thai. So this Korean man from Korea, his wife is Thai. They have a child. And I think that sticks out because recently I've been coming across a bunch of stuff where they talk about, I forget what the term is, but there's a lot of Korean passport bros.
Oh.
That'll go to Southeast Asia, typically Thailand and the Philippines. And they do this because those women love K-pop and stuff. You know, they're they idolize Korean men.
For the same reason white American men.
Yep.
Well, actually just American men go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then they do this and then they get knocked up. The women get knocked up and then the men leave. And now there's like this epidemic of all these like half Korean kids in the Philippines and Thailand who are fatherless. So like I just see that and I was like, thank you, sir. Thank you. You know, for not making us all pieces of shit.
Well, I would say it goes far beyond just not being a piece of shit. Like that is an act of true heroism because like the ground is shaking, the buildings are swaying, the bridge is breaking. I'm gonna jump. Like that's crazy. That's
and
a
like
lot.
my brain was like, I was like, why did he do that? That was like such a risk. And then I was like, 9/11. Ever since 9/11, I think people understand the impact of what could happen.
Right.
And he was like,
I can't take a chance.
If that building falls and I'm alive, like fuck that. You know what I mean? Like I am going to be with my family. And I think there's like, you're right.
Isn't it crazy how like, the brain works so quickly? Because he didn't have tons of time to like think, like contemplate, like
that thought process took me a couple minutes. For him, it was
split seconds. Like I gotta go. Well, I'm sure most of it was like I have to be there to try to save my children and my wife if there's any way that I can be there to do
and it's funny because it is your brain, but sometimes it feels like it comes from here. Yeah.
Sometimes it's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
You know, and he that was both actually. He was fighting and took flight.
So he really did. And it's crazy.
Was fight and flight.
Because there was video that captured it like security footage and he jumps as it's like pulling apart and you're like, he makes it.
God, I'm so glad you spoiled the ending for me because I don't think I could watch that and like have like and be like okay because that's like so intense. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it was that like signal leak, all that crazy stuff that happened in the government recently.
There's so much going on in the world.
But yeah, it's just been really busy and it's really funny because I think I'm like finally getting over whatever thing that I was going with making content.
Oh, I'm like, good. Are you back?
Like, finally, I was like, today I'm like, I'm going to start making content. I'm like ready. And it wasn't, well, I mean, I woke up late and I came here. Okay. So not yet, but it wasn't like the other times, like the last several times where I was like trying to convince myself to do it. Today I was like, I have to do this. And I think it started because part of the reason was because I also saw this article about how Adobe is also rolling back their DEI. Except their head of HR is this Chinese American woman who was praised several years earlier for all of these other diversity initiatives. So I was like, oh,
she's like Target.
This bitch is going down.
It's the Target effect. Like of course we love DEI. We want to give everybody a chance for show.
Yeah.
Until we don't have to anymore. Until, but it's like, don't they see what's happening to Target? Don't they see what's happened to the companies that are no longer?
And I get it. I even thought in my head, I was like, it could be coming from top down. She could be backed into a corner. And then I was like, I would quit. So wait, there's no excuse. Yeah. So I was like, fuck that.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, good.
But it's funny because now TikTok is going to go away again.
Yay.
In 2 days or 3 days.
Which is weird because I feel like nobody's talking about it now.
I think it's because we were so jaded because like we all made such a big deal about it. And I thought that too. On the way here, I thought that. I was like, I'm not going to go on a live on the 5th and be like, I'm going to stay here with you guys. I'm like, fuck that. I already cried for an hour saying all these embarrassing things.
I don't think it's going to go away. Yeah.
But it's just funny because I'm like, I'm ready to go. Oh, right. TikTok's going away in 3 days.
I know.
Cool timing, Ed.
Okay.
Cool timing.
Just, you know what? Just it much like the rest of just kind of how I've been living lately. Like you just keep going.
Off the cuff.
You just can't think about that right now. I'm going to go do the other thing that I was going to do. Because I can't think about it. I just have to do what's next.
Because it's paralyzing.
That's all I can do. Yeah.
There's so much happening. It's paralyzing.
Please.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Which is crazy because how was your few weeks? Because you had that and then your upcoming crazy schedule.
My schedule has been so fucking bananas. I don't even know I don't know what's up and down anymore, honestly. So today, let's see. Right after this,
life vertigo.
I have to go pick up the sandwiches for the kids at school. I don't know, some like bakery, someplace locally. Because we have the science fair. So we have to prepare for the science fair, which is tonight. Then I have to pick one of my kids up from school, then take her to her volleyball lesson, then go back and get the other kid, take her home, then go back and get the kid that's at the volleyball lesson, and then take her home, get them fed, go to the science fair. Then I have to get up early in the morning tomorrow to wash all the laundry so I can pack, and then go to 2 weeks worth of tournaments. Anyway, so then I have to go out of town for 2 weeks for back-to-back volleyball tournaments, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. So I'm really really trying to just keep up with my life, and it's so hard because I just feel like it's like running on like a platform of sand. You know what I mean? And like as I'm running, the platform kind of falls away. I feel like that guy who's trying to jump over the bridge. You know, I'm like, shit, my kids are on the other side. Shit.
That was instant almost.
They need me.
Yours is stretched out over 2 weeks.
And then, you know, when you go to away games and away tournaments and stuff like that, there's a million activities.
Oh, like outside of the
because
sports.
it's, you know, 4 days. You got to keep the kids, you know, occupied, and there's
Idle
activities
hands,
and stuff like that.
idle
Right.
minds.
And so because I'm a seasoned volleyball mom, I don't want to say volunteered. They all nominated me to be like in charge of the activities. And I'm like, or not, but just like help. And I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
And then I take charge.
Let's be
anyway.
honest. Why you always pick the slightly most neurotic person to do that?
I know,
So
I know.
it's
Although
your
there
own
is one
device.
mom on my younger daughter's team who is so nuts in the best way.
Yeah.
She sends spreadsheets,
Yep.
timetables, price lists. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How do I be more like that?
Yeah. you
I'm not
can't.
like that at
We're not wired.
all.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everything is so comprehensive. I'm like, morning till the very last minute that we all fly home, I was like, wow. And all I did was like, I think that's what I need. I just need somebody that can just like spit the ideas to, say this needs to happen. Like a personal assistant, you know what I mean? Like that kind of, and she just like, boop, 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 boop. Okay, here you go. Here's the spreadsheet. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I don't understand people who can see that and be able to categorize stuff.
Yes, I
You know what I mean? Because like I can do that, but not in an organized way. For me, it's like organized clutter.
No, dude.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a jumble of mess. I just know where in the clutter things are, but like I can't formulate
just the Excel sheet for sandwich orders is like the cleanest, most like organized thing.
That's perfect.
Gluten-free for this family. This person does not eat cheese. This mom is allergic to tomatoes. And then I'm going to cross-reference all of that, put all these sandwiches here. Then we have the salads over here. Then we have, I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a
I'm so
perfect
proud of you.
analogy
That's
because
incredible.
I've had to make Excel sheets this past 2 weeks, and I know I know all the data that needs to go there, but trying to organize it into a way that makes sense, I struggled on that so hard.
What the hell is he doing? His leg is caught in the leash.
Hey,
bozo.
you wanted to kill yourself, and now you won't eat this one. It smells the same.
Too meaty. Archie, come here.
Like, I don't know.
Thank you.
Dad yelled at
Have
me,
a
and then I
seat.
bit his
know.
hand, and then now I don't know what to do.
Okay, you can eat your fish snack on my lap. Oof. But yeah, the world has been fucking crazy lately.
Yeah.
Did you watch Adolescence?
Yes. I feel like I told you about that last time, but I don't think I did. I think that was Ron. Either way,
We
it's
didn't talk
crazy.
about it. It was so good. I thought it was great. Did you like it?
Yeah. One, as someone who does like videography film work, I don't know if you noticed it. Most of it, if not all of the episodes, were in one shot.
Oh, no, not that. That was the whole thing. That was
Yeah.
everything was one take.
Yeah.
Every episode.
Do you know how hard that is?
I can't make a 60-second video and not do 30 different takes.
Without like
and,
fumbling
like,
over
breaks
words.
And, editing,
Yeah.
of course.
And then I was like so impressed by that kid because there were multiple times where his
Insane.
talking happened like 10 minutes into the one shot. And I was like, if that kid messed up, everyone would have to redo everything.
for sure.
But that kid was brilliant.
He was
and it was
great.
his first acting job.
He did such a great job. It was wonderful. It was so impactful and like so I didn't watch it at first because I knew kind of the premise of it and I was like, I don't know if I have, and you know, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't at all.
Yeah, that's why when you said it, I was like, oh, I
You
didn't
watched something?
Yeah, because like I don't even ask if you've watched it anymore because I'm like,
and I don't normally, but my husband was like, you have to watch this. He's like, I insist. He's like, you have to. And this was over the course of days and days and days. He's like, please. I was like, fine.
I need someone to talk about it with.
I was like, fine, yes, I'll watch it. So I watched it and I watched it over the course of like 2 days. And it was so funny what his takeaway was versus my takeaway.
Ooh.
Because he, of course, was like, bring me your phones, bring me your computers. I'm locking this even tight. My kids' phones are like Fort fucking Knox. They're like playing Pong. They're like, this is all we get to do. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have social media. Like, the closest thing they have is like this, I don't even remember what it's
School
called.
thing, right?
School, like, you know, like, yeah, Google Classroom and that kind of shit. But, you know, we let them text their friends and stuff. But he's just like, at 9:00, your phone, the Wi-Fi is off. It's done. I'm like, okay, like, okay. And he's like, we got to make sure that they have this. We got to be sure to monitor that. I'm like, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But take this from me as the mom. The perspective here is a little skewed because you are going into protection mode for your daughters. And I am too, obviously. But I think you got to, and then he was talking about like the boys. And he's like, but you know, I was like, you got to zoom out a little further and look at what we're really talking about. We're talking about incel, red pill, you know, and how susceptible these boys are because boys are locking themselves away in their rooms and they're not interacting with each other in normal, healthy ways. And there's only so much that we can do.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but like it's been proven that a lot of social media, YouTube specifically, if you are male,
yes,
and you're over the age of like 10,
right?
The algorithm, no matter how liberal or whatever you are, it will eventually start feeding you red pill videos because it even happened to me.
Really?
I'm the furthest thing that should ever be shown to. And every once in a while, they keep trying to plug it in there. I'm like, what is
that? Is
happening?
Terrifying.
It is terrifying.
That is terrifying. And this is what I said to my husband. I was like, I know you're trying to protect your girls from the inside out, but we need to figure out how to protect our girls from the outside in. Because it's not the girls. It's not it's not. And I saw some people having this conversation about it, and they were talking about, well, why didn't they show the perspective of the girl? Why didn't they show what her participation was in how this all happened? And I'm like, you're missing the point. Yeah. Because it doesn't fucking matter. Right. Yeah. It does not matter what she did. It doesn't matter if she bullied that kid.
That would be victim blaming a little bit.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is like, it's this idea that any participation with a boy should never render a result where you are stabbed multiple times and killed. That should never, no matter what. I could bully you to you know, every hour of the day. You still, as a reaction, should not kill another person. And that was what I was telling my husband. I was like, you need to understand that as our girls grow up, and I've talked about this before, is like we live in split-second decisions as women and girls. And, you know, I use this analogy because I've seen it happen. It's happened to me where you're somewhere and a man will reach his hand out to you and be like, hey, how are you? And like try to like shake your hand. And your brain has to process in a matter of seconds. Do I shake his hand? If I shake his hand, will he take that as an acceptance of his advancement? And does that mean that I am now open myself up to whatever he thinks this exchange is? Do I reject his handshake? If I reject his handshake, will he be mad at me? And will he retaliate with violence against me? Something as simple as somebody saying hi is like, could really change the course of my life, right? And I was like, this is why the conversation, what I'm telling you, this film is about, isn't necessarily about the girls' participation. It is about what we can do to help these boys in these situations where they feel like they are alone and they like completely lose sight of reality or how to interact with other people. And it was like, and I love that it showed every kind of part of his life and focused like on his family and his school. Yeah, like the chaos of the school gave me so much anxiety.
Yeah, I really love that it wasn't a whodunit and it was more like a why did it happen?
Right.
Yeah, and like that's funny that was your guys' takeaway because as a single man in his 40s.
Sorry, did you miss the last birthday you had?
Last two.
I'm keeping count.
Last two apparently. My takeaway was that there was two for me. One, it was that like we shouldn't live under the boys will be boys because I feel like that was what led us here. Yeah. It's always like boys will be boys. Just let them be. They're going to get into trouble. It's just locker room
talk. It's just, just friendly, teasing.
Yep. But even just in the sense of just like, we don't talk to boys about feelings, emotions. We just let them be. Boys will be boys. They'll get into trouble. They'll make a mess. They're going to grow up to be fine young men. Like that's
right. That's generations before. This is how they did it. Like, there are also murdering men. Men would be murdering women but in those generations too.
But back then there was like less influence on people. It was like the people in your life influenced the boy. Now, maybe people from across the world can influence them through the phone. You know what I mean? Right. Like, so it's like, it's more, we can't do that. But then it was also like, hey, parents, especially parents of boys, like, yes, you need to do more. We need to have conversations about emotions, responsibility, how to handle situations. And like, cause like that part where the dad was like, I could have done more, and then it ended with him crying.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was like, oh, because like for me, maybe it's because I don't have a child, but I was like, oh shit, when I do have a kid, I have to make sure that I'm like really nurturing their emotions and making sure that their EQ is high, and
sure,
you know what I mean? Like, so that was my takeaway. I think that was it
too. I think what was really interesting, I saw a lot of people talking about how the boy perceived his parents.
Yeah.
His mom was kind of useless and a fucking idiot. Yep. And she like could maybe like make one dish right, but she just was just like whatever. But my dad's amazing. My dad is so fucking cool. But my dad, who I think is so cool, saw me on the soccer field. And I could see how disappointed he was. And I just wanted him to accept me. And then they were talking about his art. And they're like, oh yeah, you really used to love art, you know, but like the kid never pursued it because he didn't think his dad would think it was cool or whatever. And I was just like, wow, like it really touched on so many things. And it really illuminated to me, because I don't have boys, but my sister has a boy, and he is such a like sensitive, sweet boy, and they have nurtured him in so many ways. But you know, he does play video games. You know, he's 16, almost 17 now. So it's like, you know, he's very, very well-adjusted young man. Yeah. But it's because,
but even for those, there are situations of toxic masculinity, like video games.
Oh. Sorry.
Well, it looked like you popped a pimple.
I went like this because one of the scales had dried onto my fingernail.
Ew, that's what popped out. I was like, did Archie just have a pimple that you popped?
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was really well done. And I think a lot of people, I saw this like woman make a video, and she was like, oh, I'm so mad that they never gave Katie's perspective. And what about the victim? Nobody cared about the victim. I'm like,
that's because we have those movies.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, you need to understand is like, that's the whole point.
Right.
Katie's whole point is like, she to him is not even a person.
Right.
To those boys isn't even a person. Right. She doesn't have humanity. So that like the lack of her being in that is what makes her absence in the storyline so impactful. Yeah. It is so impactful that I don't have this sob story about how wonderful she was, or even how of a villain she was.
And I think
I have no feelings towards her.
I feel like not having that didn't convolute the point of the story. And the point of the story, I feel like, to me, was also like a lot of those things could have been prevented. If the dad would get past his because I feel like it was like because I feel like generational trauma is this term that has been used so much now that people are like, yeah, whatever. But this was like a generational trauma with visible consequences. You know what I mean? If the dad had addressed the way he grew up and got past it and evolved, it could have prevented his son from feeling so isolated and, you know, misunderstood.
Right. Which was also really funny because I felt like the cop's storyline and his son was almost like paralleling the main storyline, but like just slightly behind it. You know what I mean? Like the dad was just kind of like ashamed of his boy, and he was just like, oh, hey, like, you know, whatever, like go talk to your mom about it. Like whatever. Like that's so ironic, right? That we're watching the storyline of this father who's lost his son to prison and incarceration, while we're kind of watching this father also doing the same things and repeating those same patterns with his own son in this same story. I was like, that's really fascinating. And then the storyline of the mom who has to kind of like keep the temperature of the house okay. You know what I mean? Or hey, like the temperament of the father.
Yeah, she has to overcompensate for the lack of the father's emotional intelligence.
Well, that too, but she has to manage the temperature of the house.
Yeah.
How is the dad feeling? Hey, why don't we go watch the movie? Why don't we go do this instead? You love doing this. Or like, I can make you this really nice breakfast. Of course.
Yeah.
So then that's why the son sees the mom as weak, because she's always trying to just kind of bring the temperature down. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's so interesting that, and then also the fact that the father, who didn't know anything about the kid really, like was the one that was chosen to be the advocate when the mom clearly should have, I don't know. The fact that he chose the mom, I don't know, the dad or whatever. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah. And I feel like the one takeaway that I really got from it was I was like, oh, I feel like a lot of school shootings, the parents are responsible, even if indirectly. Like they didn't nurture their child.
You can't say a parent is indirect of a child in any way.
Yeah.
Your children are directly correlated.
But I
to
just
the things
meant like
that you
it
say
wasn't
and do.
anything the parents did that directly got the kids to do that.
No,
but
but it was probably
shaped,
directly what the parents didn't do.
That's what I mean. But they did help shape the kids directly
Sure.
to either not be able to handle situations or whatever, or
Right.
So I felt like that was also powerful from that perspective.
My older daughter's best friend, she watched it. She's 13, same age as the kids in the story.
Shit.
I was like, your mom let you watch that? And she's like, yeah, I don't think she really knew what it was about. I was like, dude.
It's like when my mom bought me Coming to America when I was 8 years old.
But she was like, told my daughter, she's like, hey, I want to talk to your mom about Adolescence. And I was like, okay, cool. So she was like, I was like, what do you want to talk about? And she was just like, I don't know. I just felt really like sad about it. And I was like, okay, well, we could talk about that. And, I was like, well, what about it made you sad? She's like, it just made me so sad because the boy seemed so lonely. And I was like, oh, honey. I was like, that was kind of the point.
But it's not your responsibility.
I said, but it's not your responsibility.
Yeah.
I said, she's like, I just don't understand why he was so alone. Why was he so alone? Like she's like, he had friends. Like, why did he feel like he didn't have anybody? And like, she's just like, I just felt she's like, I felt scared of him, but I also felt really sad for him. And I was like, I think that's how you're supposed to feel. Yeah. I think you are feeling exactly what you're supposed to be feeling, because he is a character that did something terribly wrong. And he, took somebody's life, and you cannot, forgive that, but you can understand that he was lonely and sad, and those things can happen at the same time. And she was just like, she just really wanted to just like not even talk about it. She just wanted to kind of sit with it. And I was like, yeah, let's just sit in it. Let's
a lot
just
of
talk
emotions.
about it. Yeah.
You don't know how to process
and
it.
she's 13 and she's a girl, and she's like, does that really happen? And she kept asking me, she's like, is that a real story? Is that a real story? Because she thinks that if it's a real story, it's just a one-off. It's just this one story. And I was just like, it's not one story. It's like, I think a lot of stories kind of put together.
Doesn't always end in that death.
Sure.
But something horrible.
Something can, horrible can happen. And I think that's another reason too. I think another reason why people were so intent that Katie's story be told is the same reason why we always look for a reason when like a school shooter goes on a shooting spree, or a serial killer, or like whatever. We want to know what happened. Yeah. Why did you do that?
What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
Because we think if we understand why they did it, that we can somehow find a way to prevent it from happening to us. And that's not always the case. And I think that's why so many people are desperate to find out, what did Katie do? Katie must have done something. There's no reason a person would stab and kill you for no reason. That's the part that they left out, because that's just not the case. That's not the case. And I think that's something people need to understand. And that's a very hard truth to accept. Is like, though we are so autonomous and though we have so much free will, we don't have control.
No.
There's a difference. And I think that's something that people have a really hard time grappling with.
And the importance of like dealing with your shit so you don't fucking affect your kids with it.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a lot to unpack.
It was a lot. And that was the thing. It was like a four episode series, but you got so much meat from it.
So much.
I was like,
much
wow,
happened.
There's so much to talk about. And every single character in it had such a significant impact on the story. And that, again, just kind of reminds you how connected we all are, And I thought that was so, I don't know, it was so beautifully done. It was really great. And I don't say that about a lot of stuff. I don't watch a lot of TV, so.
Especially for something that was like so heavy like that. Too.
I know.
You know I mean?
Me. I'm like, keep that shit away from me. I don't want to keep things light. I want to just keep watching reruns of The Good Place. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, Good Place is good too, though. But yeah, I saw Adolescence like when it first came out. Because it instantly went to one. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Where did it come from? And I was like, oh, that guy who's in Snatch.
I don't know.
In all those British movies.
Didn't know any single person. Mm-mm.
The father, he's always like, plays one of those like,
Oi.
Yeah, kind of like a gangster kind of a guy. He's always like kind of mischievous, one of those guys. So I was like, oh, cool. And I watched it and I was like,
didn't he like write and produce it too, though?
Oh, shit, he did?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty confident. I know. Yeah, I think that this is like his thing.
Good for him.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think that's right.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it turns out this kind of like meatheady guy is actually quite deep, very sensitive.
That's crazy. All I know is that I'm now a little bit more terrified to have children.
It's really scary, man. It's really scary. But
not even just like something like that they could become a victim, but I'm like, what if I raise one of those kids who then does that? Oh my God. I don't think I'd be able to handle it.
Well, that was another part of the whole story, right?
Yeah.
watching the parents suffering through this potentially preventable life-altering event, is like, God. And I'm sure every single parent who goes through something like that where their child has now become, the perpetrator of something incredibly deadly or harmful or whatever is like, how did I miss that? How did I not see that? You know what I mean? So that is really an important thing as a parent, which is really funny because this actually segues really great into what I'm going through right now online on TikTok. This mom and her friend are like TikTokers. I'm sorry, I'm segue out. What? Why is your face like that?
I just am nervous for what happened to you.
Nothing happened to me. It's just like the most current video that I've made. It's nothing bad.
Oh.
I mean, somebody did threaten me with a lawsuit, which, whatever. So she makes this video where she and her friend are out at a restaurant with her toddlers that are under 2 years old. They say they're 1, but they don't look like 12 months old. They look like maybe 16, 18 months old, which is developmentally very different. A 12-month-old is very different than a 16, very different than an 18-month-old.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And they filmed this video where they're in this crowded restaurant in like Florida, and it's like brunch, and the kids are screeching at the top of their lungs.
It's not a child restaurant, right?
No. Okay. I mean, I don't know. No. There are children there, but it's not like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Or like a McDonald's.
It's called Bar Taco. So
it's an adult place.
Yes. So the kids are like screeching at the top of their lungs. And then the camera pans to the moms and they're laughing and they're like, oh my God, like whatever. And
did they record it?
Yes.
Oh.
The moms are recording it. They put it on their social media. But in the video, as you are panning around, you see another person turn and give this like, what the fuck kind of look. Same look I'd fucking give. And they zoom in on that woman. And I see this video. Before I didn't talk to anybody. I just saw the video and I was like, fuck this shit. Okay? You, instead of being like, kids, like, we're using our inside voices, like, hold the bubble in your mouth. Do you know hold the bubble in your mouth? No. When you're trying to get kids to be quiet, you say, oh, there it is. Hold the bubble in your mouth. Oh. Don't let the bubble pop. Don't pop the bubble.
That's just so funny.
It's so cute though. The kids love it. And they're like, okay, pop your bubble. You go, and they pop the bubble and then they can talk again.
That's great.
It's so cute. I do that with my girls all the time. They're like, oh, and they're quiet. So there are things.
Probably adorable with kids like chubby cheeks.
Oh my God, it's the cutest thing in the world. It's the cutest thing in the world. But also,
so funny.
When a baby is small, you model that behavior. You say, we're going to bring our voices down, or we're going to talk quietly because we're inside and everybody's eating their food. And so then they're like, and then they like fall. They mimic what you do. That's how you teach children to be in public.
Lead by example.
Right. But instead, these fucking moms are videotaping themselves and recording each other, thinking it's the fucking funniest thing in the world. So then the comment section of that video that they post becomes an attack on the woman who just like turns around and is like, what the fuck?
What?
She's so fucking miserable. Like, let the kids be kids or whatever. So I get a hold of this and I'm like, no, back this fucking truck up. No. The reason, because I looked, and in that video, the woman who turns around also has a toddler and has a stroller next to her, which means that she's got probably 2 little kids.
One who might be a sleeping baby.
Maybe. But she's turning around. As a mom, you are immune almost to the first 3 or 4 screeches. You're like, that happens.
Yeah,
kids. Yeah, it's going to happen. You can't stop it. Sometimes it's a child that's neurodivergent and like whatever, and you deal with it. But if this goes on for a long time, that's when you turn around and you're like, are you going to fucking do anything?
Yeah, like,
what the fuck?
That's when you're like, it's the parents.
Right. Yeah. So then I made a video responding saying like, because her caption is like, relax, everybody. This was like 2 seconds long.
No, it wasn't.
No, fucking wasn't. Right away. No, it wasn't. So I was like, I know you're fucking lying. And here's how I know. And I make this video, whatever. And all the usual things start happening, right? Like people are like, fuck those moms, fuck that. That's bullshit. Whatever. And the reason I bring this video, this topic up is because we as parents are responsible for teaching our children how to behave,
right,
how to act, how to react, how to do. So if we are going to be either absent in their progress, absent in their life, absent in their downtime, absent in teaching them the right things to do while they are present with us. It's those absences and the lack of being present that cause children to dysregulate, right, to react poorly, to behave badly, to, do all these things. And so then the conversation turns into like, oh, so then maybe we should just, lock kids up and throw away the key and put them in a dungeon. It's like,
did you miss the whole point? Because the whole point was that it's the parents.
That.
Yeah.
And then another, camp is like, oh, so what are you saying? We just let kids run around and throw food and no, we're not saying that either, guys. Let's just meet in the middle somewhere. Be there for your kids. Be there to teach your kids. And so then, of course, the friend or somebody comes into my DMs and she's like, you're driving hate to this mom and she is getting death threats. Always the death threats.
Mutual said that to you?
No. Oh. One of her friends, some person I don't even know. And I go,
she's the one who made and posted the video.
That's what she said. You're exploiting her children. And I was like, that's really funny because in my video, I blocked her kids' faces out. She didn't in hers. So who's exploiting kids? Like who's exploiting whose fucking kids? First of all, this is not my first day on the fucking job.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say that. My favorite thing is when people who are so not smart to the point where like, sure, it's fine if you don't know me. I'm not expecting you to know me because like, that's crazy. Fine. I'm a nobody. But like, before you respond, you don't go look at the person's page and kind of see what their vibe is first. Right. Like that's the crazy part to me. When people are like, that's so crazy. And I'm like, oh, you didn't watch a single, I literally have the ones you should watch pinned on my wall for people like you to know what you're getting into with me.
My favorite part. So she opens the message with, you're what's wrong with society. You're exploiting children. You're putting people in danger. You're a horrible person. You should be ashamed of yourself. So I, of course, just sent the laughing emoji. And she goes, this family is getting death threats because of your video. And I was like, oh my gosh, can you send me a copy of the police report? And she's like, what? What police report? I was like, well, this is not my first day. So I know that if somebody's getting credible death threats, you file a police report. You report it to the police. And sometimes if it's credible, they will inform the FBI, whatever. And she's like, well, they said that they couldn't do anything about it. And I was like, no, that's not how that works. If somebody's getting death threats, you can actually subpoena TikTok and actually get that person's information. So I think you're full of shit because people say death threats all the time. All the time. And I've never seen one. I've never seen one fucking video or one fucking anything. And then she turns to, I just wish that you could have some empathy. I just wish that you could understand, what this family is going through. And maybe you could find it in your heart. I'm like
she didn't have empathy for the mother who was struggling and was just being like, what the fuck?
It's almost like you live in my brain.
It's pretty obvious.
That's exactly what I said.
Pretty fucking obvious.
I said, your friend didn't have any empathy for this mom who was simply trying to eat her fucking huevos rancheros. Okay? Like you guys didn't leave her alone. And she got 15 million views on that video.
And there were literally people bringing her fucking negativity in her comments. So, and your friend didn't stop that either.
Then the mom that's in the background of the video comes to my comment section. She's like, that's me. That was me. And this didn't go on for just a couple of seconds. It was at least 9 minutes. She was counting how long. She's like, it was 9-ish minutes. She's like, it was not a couple of seconds. It went on for so long and they did whatever.
We know it's not a couple seconds.
There's
because
no chance.
One, if it's a couple seconds, then you might have not caught it on video.
Right.
Two, if you're describing it the way it happened, then you're already laughing, which means that it's been happening long enough where you're just like, this is so funny because it's been going on forever. You know what I mean?
So it's like, you're obviously, and I said, first line of my video, I was like, this is how I know you're fucking lying. Yeah. You're lying.
No one starts laughing because your kid just yelled out for a couple seconds. You're mortified at first.
Of course.
It's only funny when you don't give a shit and it's been happening forever.
When my kid laughs really loud when they were little, it was so cute. I am fully aware that not everybody thinks kids are cute.
Or that your kids are cute.
And then I said that in the video. I was like, I like my kids, but that doesn't mean I like your fucking kids. Your kids are assholes.
Yeah.
Fuck your fucking
kids. Because you're an asshole and you're showing them how to be assholes.
And people are like, why can't you just let kids be kids? I'm like, this is not about kids being kids. I'm saying parents need to parent, That's my point. My point is, if you are filming, laughing at the kids, they're going to think that this is the behavior that is acceptable in society. It is not. And when they say it takes a village, this is what we mean. It doesn't just mean the people that you know, it means society at large, which means every group has to make some kind of concession for the other, right? If I am a mom and I have my screaming toddler in a restaurant and I'm trying my best to get her to be quiet and she's fucking freaking out, it's nice to have the people around me be like, it's okay. Like, we understand. Like, it's not so bad. Or like, just say something nice and encouraging, right?
Or someone just makes a funny face that snaps them out.
I usually say like, wow, you should be a singer someday. You have really powerful lungs. Good for you. And the moms are always like, thank you so much. I'm like, it's okay. Like, of course it happens. But at the same time, I am also part of that village. So it is my responsibility as a parent to make the effort to be like, honey, we got to quiet down. You're fucking freaking out.
They chose to record, edit, write a caption that literally, makes fun of that other woman, zoom in on her face, and then fucking post it.
Right.
Who did what?
Right, exactly. So, and then my video got taken down. I was so fucking mad. TikTok removed it, but they restored it. So
yeah, I think usually that happens when a bunch of people report your video.
Yeah.
I think the algorithm just goes, oh, something must be wrong with it.
Right, let's check it out.
And then no one actually reviews it until you appeal it.
Right.
They're like, oh.
All I said was, be better parents. Don't film your kids on TikTok and make other people suffer. Like, why?
The best part, though, is I bet her and that friend immediately were like, yes, we won.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. And then my video came back up. And
then all of a sudden, like a day later, they start getting all the messages again. They're like, what?
Dang it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they both have their comments off. One of them went private for a while. They both blocked me, of course. And I'm just like, why can't you just be like, yeah, lesson learned. I'm gonna not.
It's really
so simple.
You know what's really easier than lying about death threats and like all of a sudden understanding what empathy is? Just going, you know what?
I'm sorry.
That was, you're right. You know what?
That was really dumb.
I should have been a little bit more empathetic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It would have made everything stop.
I know. Easy. Piece of cake.
The lack of comprehension in people terrifies me, honestly.
I mean, it's par for the course. Oh, shit.
But yeah, parents, they're responsible for how your kids act.
I mean, they're responsible for, at least, I think, making the effort.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what people have a problem with. That was what I had a problem with, is like, make the effort. Like, why is your priority making a viral video? Like, do you know how many moments I've lost? How much time I've had to like stop things because my kids need direction or need something from me? Like, you kidding me? There are 15 bajillion awesome, hilarious, sweet, heartwarming things that I could exploit about my kids. If I really wanted to, I could. My kids are fucking awesome. They're great. But I don't even show them at their volleyball games. I don't show them going to school. I don't show them trying food because
it's weird.
It's weird. It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Like,
and
kids like can't even consent to doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like, my 13-year-old now is like, I consent. I'm like, your consent doesn't mean anything for 5 years. Shut up. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'll never sue you for putting me on your videos, Mom. I swear. I'm like, you don't know that. You don't know that.
Yeah, there are a lot of kids who grew up in family vlogs where they're like, I hated that.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you listened to Stephanie Sue? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Or the Rotten Mango podcast
Sue,
about that mom. Oh my God. Hold on.
What did she do?
The blogger mom that went to jail. Oh yeah. Ruby Frankie.
Oh, Ruby Frankie.
Go listen to that podcast. It's so good. This Ruby Frankie was fucking nuts, dude. Like, no wonder she's in jail. The things that she put her kids through to like film content and stuff, and the way that she would just like humiliate them and like torture them. I thought I knew, and then I listened to this and I was like, oh my God. It was
more than the documentary?
I think it was pretty similar. I didn't watch the documentary.
Oh, okay.
I like to listen to things instead of watch things, because then I can kind of create it all in my own mind. I can see it how my brain wants to see it. But yeah, it was really alarming, the things that those kids went through. And like, didn't her daughter like write a book about it?
I think so.
I think her like eldest daughter wrote a book. So yeah, I told her, I was like, I don't want that to be us. She's like,
yeah, I mean, and also
I just
like,
want to do an eating video. I'm like, no.
But that's what
people
I
are
mean.
disgusting.
Like, kids don't understand what happens. You know what I mean?
You get your video in the hands of the wrong person and you are now fodder for a bunch of fucking pedophiles. Like, no fucking way.
Or even just like, they don't even understand the impact in their own personal lives. You know what I mean? Like, they might do something a little silly and then someone sees it at school and now they're being bullied.
Right. And also, like, tell me why on all those videos where like little kids are like eating bananas, why are there 37,000 saves on that video?
That's creepy.
Why? I know why. Like that makes me sick to my stomach. Like, it makes me like feel like I want to fucking puke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Gross. Well, do we end it on that?
Might as well. I don't know. What else?
Anything else funny happen on TikTok? Not else, but anything funny happen on TikTok? Or embarrassing that we can make fun of someone?
Oh, here's a good question. If you are the kind of creator that shares your life on an app and like does like vlogging and story, what?
No, the answer is no.
No, you have to listen to the question. And you, let's say, are a plus size creator, right?
Oh, this is not where I thought it was going. No. Okay.
Let's say you are a plus size creator and you make funny vlogs about like trying regular size clothes and how like regular clothes don't fit. And like you make this whole personality about you being a plus size person. And then you start losing weight and you start losing a lot of weight. And people start questioning you and saying, hey, you look like you're losing a lot of weight. Are you on weight loss medication? Are you, did you have surgery?
Why does it matter?
Why does it not matter?
I don't know. Why does it matter?
Well, because her whole point was body positivity. Love your body the way that it is. You should feel beautiful in your body no matter what size it is. Does she have any obligation to her viewers, who are essentially her customers, to say, really? Yeah. I totally disagree.
I think no. I
completely disagree. You built your whole brand on this one pillar. I am a plus size person. I love myself the way I am. Now I'm 140 pounds lighter with no explanation. Then goes on to Khloe Kardashian's podcast to tell everybody, yes, I did have weight loss surgery about a year later. I find so many things wrong with it. And like, I get what you're saying. Like, I understand, like, no, your private life should be your private life, but you've made your private life public life. This is why people follow you. People follow you because of that.
Yeah, but I'm just of the belief, and that is where I thought this conversation was going at first. I was right. But I just am of the belief that like the public has no entitlement to anything you don't want to talk about. I don't think just because you're public means that people are entitled to know every detail. I think that's up to you.
You're using the word entitlement, but I'm saying, do you feel like you don't have a responsibility as that person?
I don't know,
because if I just went like this and took my mask off and I was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, I was like, just kidding, I'm not really Korean.
Yeah, so like
fuck that. I follow you because I thought you were Korean.
Right, yeah, Wait. So that's where my head went.
Scooby-Dooed you.
I tried to like, if it wasn't for those dark kids, but
right? So it's like, well, so that's the question, right? So did I follow you all this time?
So I thought that too. I was like, if I all of a sudden was like, I'm not going to protect stand up for Asian American people anymore, that I feel like,
dude, that's why we're here. Yeah. What are you talking about?
But then like, it also depends, right? Because like the thing with the weight loss thing though, is like, it might be health oriented. I don't know. It could be health oriented.
Okay.
And I just feel like anything health oriented, you really are not obligated to share.
This is another issue I have with it though, because now she's using language that I don't think she's ever used in the past before. She's like, morbidly obese. I was morbidly obese. Okay, but what about all those people that follow you that are also in the same size range as you?
I don't like that.
And now you've basically put this whole negative connotation on their existence because your existence is now different.
If I had to put a pinpoint or like a guess with like, I don't know what the euphemism here. I don't know why I'm trying. If I had a guess without knowing who this person is or seeing any of their content, I would say that they made content to overcompensate for how shitty they felt. But it never went away. It never went away to the point that it finally ate them up and they finally wanted to lose weight. And now because they're on the other side, that same feeling they've had the whole time where they demonize their weight and all that stuff, now they feel entitled to publicly demonize it because that's how they felt the whole time. And that part is problematic.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I feel like you then probably weren't the person all those millions of people followed you for. That's why I have a problem with it. Your inauthenticity to who you actually are.
Yeah.
If you are...
The part where she's now using language that puts larger people down.
If you are a larger person and you don't like being a larger person, but you decide to monetize on being a larger person and then convince other people that you like it, so then they should like it too. When they find out that you don't and never did, how do they then feel about themselves? You know what I mean? I don't know. It all just felt so like...
Yeah, no, I do see your point.
You're
For
a
me,
liar.
it's the end part that changes the whole story. But yeah, I agree with you because all their followers followed them for that. And for them to now feel negative.
She didn't outright lie. She just never admitted to it because people are like, did you have the gastric sleeve? Did you have gastric bypass? Did you have this? And she's like, I never I think she's saying she never lied because she got something that nobody ever named, procedure by name. I can't remember what it is. But it's lying by omission is still a thing. Lying by not, saying, and she would block people for asking her. And it's just come on, man.
Yeah, that's all. That stuff is for sure weird. Yeah, that stuff I don't agree with.
I don't even remember what her name is. I had blocked. I realized I went to her page. I was like, oh, I blocked her. Why did I block her? Why don't I? You know why? Because she gave me a bad fucking vibe. I knew it. I have so many people blocked. When I go to their pages, I'm like, oh, I blocked this person. When did I block this person? Why did I block this person?
I don't even know who they are.
Because I know. I can feel the vibe. Bad vibes. You giving me bad vibes. I know better. My spidey sense is telling me that you are not somebody that I want to associate with.
The contrarian in me wants to disagree, but you were right about someone in our life. So
I tried to tell you.
Oh. We did. We walked very much on eggshells.
We did.
It all backfired.
Did it?
For a while it did. I lost hair because of it.
Yeah.
It grew back.
Oh, good. So, yeah.
Yeah, no permanent effect on my life. Yeah.
The hair's back, bitch.
Thank God.
I don't think it left a real impact. Maybe that was,
no.
But maybe that's why that was the whole point, right? That was why they hated me so much because I didn't care about them.
Yeah. No, it didn't. But it was enough of it was like a thorn in your side where you're like, it didn't really affect things, but it was you're like, what is that?
It's get it off.
Yeah,
it's like a tag in your shirt and you're like, oh, it's so annoying. Well, that was the thing, right? Is like
a splinter you can't find.
I think that was the whole reason this person hated me so much is because I was like, it's like that's when people say I'm your best friend, but you're not my best friend. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a bitch about it. Maybe I am. Fuck her.
Them. We don't know who they are. Just kidding. Everyone who watches this probably knows who they are.
I mean, I'm sure they do. And even if you don't, let me tell you, it's not even worth knowing. Who cares? But that was the whole point, right? Is you gotta trust your instincts. You go with your gut because it's probably right. Mine was. I knew it.
Bad vibes.
Bad vibes. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Well, on that note.
It's a short one, you guys. I told you. I'm so fucking busy. I'm sorry.
It was not short. It's still an hour.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It was supposed to be short because I woke up super late.
45 minutes late. I got a life to live, Ed.
Yeah, I felt so bad, but I panicked so much that I didn't even tell you right away because I was trying to get ready. And then it was after I got in the car, I was like, oh, I need to tell Susie.
That's fine. I was like, oh, these motherfuckers. That's okay. We got it done. It's fine.
But seriously, on that note, thank you for joining us on yet another episode of What in the Asshole, apparently.
What's up your asshole?
No.
We don't care what's up your asshole. Put whatever you want up there. It's your asshole.
Please find us on our socials.
What?
I said, please find us on our socials.
You can find me at Sujo1 on TikTok and Instagram, unless TikTok implodes again. I don't know.
Yeah. By this time this airs, we have 2 days. You can find me at Etch Sketch with the J on stuff. This little guy, Stinkers at Archie and Colt on Instagram. Otherwise, make sure you follow the podcast at What in the Shibal, Shibal.
Do you have a P.O. box for him?
I have a P.O. box.
Put it up there so people can send different snacks.
I will put my P.O. box in the description down below. So if you can send non-fishy, but please organic and healthy,
You're so bougie, Archie.
non-artificial ingredients and chemicals, no milk bones, please. Or rawhide, really preferably, to the P.O. box down below.
I shouldn't have asked.
Otherwise, make sure you also email the podcast, onetheShibal@gmail.com, SHIBAL, with all your stories, questions, stuff, asshole things. No. What am I the asshole stories? Otherwise, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, bye.
Also, wish the daughters
good luck.
an amazing luck on their tournaments.
Yay. Go the team name I can't say.
Bring home the trophies or whatever it is, the glory.
This is just a qualifier just to see where you go.
The qualifyingness of it all. Okay, bye. Love you.